Hello and welcome to the Anyways Writing Show. This is the first episode of a new show that I am trying out, and it's the show where I write stories with my friends. My name is Duncan. I'm a writer, I'm a musician, and occasional doodler.
Hi, I'm Abby. I'm a wannabe writer and occasional bookstagrammer.
My name is Jenna. I am an illustrator, a printmaker, general artistic jack of a lot of trades. My pronouns are she and they, and yeah.
And I am Alistair, or Ali, or Al, however you want to call me. So I'm probably not as creative currently as the rest of you, but my background is in drama and theatre, so I'm an actor, or at least was. And I currently am an avid dancer around my living room to K-pop.
Nice. Okay, so the way this is going to work, we're going to, every episode we're going to just share a bit of news, how life has been for each one of us in the last week or so, and then we're going to go on to a main discussion where we kind of get some briefs, get some inspiration, get the I was going to say get the juices flowing, but I don't like that phrase. That's weird.
Tasty.
Yeah.
Creative juices, yeah.
So let's crack on with the news. Al.
Yes.
So this week, I heard that this week you've been doing something a bit unusual.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if you could kind of explain the rationale behind it.
Okay.
Just no judgment. There's I respect your decisions, but I heard that this week you were kind of mainly spooning a penguin. What's the deal with that?
Okay, well, the deal is ever since seeing what is it? Frozen Planet. I've just got a really big thing for penguins. They're super cute, they're super lovely, and yeah, the emperor penguins, I mean, they're the most majestic, and they're the biggest as well, and they the thought of spooning one of those.
You're gonna do it. You gotta have a big one.
You've got it. Well, exactly. That's it. You can't go for a little one. That is exactly what I've been doing.
The most majestic penguin that you
Precisely. And do you know what? They're surprisingly cuddly. You wouldn't think that they would be because they look a bit slippy and slidey, but they're not. They're like super cozy.
The penguin's really into it there.
Yeah, exactly. And see, as the picture shows, just the right size to kind of fit underneath your chin and between my knees. So
It's good to know this is a consensual spooning.
It is. Oh, completely. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
I did ask, and the reply was. That's what my emperor penguin sounds like.
Is that yes in penguin?
That is, yeah. Or at least that's what I believe it is anyway.
I was impressed there. I thought you'd specifically learned penguin.
Well,
just so you could maintain a relationship with this emperor penguin.
There was a couple of things I had to practice. So it's kind of like the whole yes, no, big spoon, little spoon.
Okay.
And so the most important in the penguin vocabulary.
Yeah. This is also the 4 key principles of all languages, really.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes, no.
And of consent.
And to every listener out there, please don't go and spoon penguins unless you have their express consent. Yeah. Jenna.
Mm-hmm.
This week you smirked at every dog you saw. Is that right?
I mean, I always smirk at every dog I see Duncan, but yeah,
this week was like
this week it was a particularly special week on the dog smirking front.
Have you got a scale of how many dogs or how high a quality a smirk you give? Like, what's the scale?
I mean, it depends on the dog. You can't just do the same smirk for every dog because that would be A, unfair, and B, not as interesting.
Okay.
And so yeah, I've put some I particularly dedicated myself to that this week.
Okay.
Um,
You really wanted to up your smirking game.
yes, and I see a lot of, I don't know what I'm drawing. I see
It's
a
like
lot
a smirk thermometer there.
that's
amazing.
sort of what I was going for. But yeah, so I just, I think sometimes some dogs are just a little bit too smug themselves and need to be taken down a peg.
Okay.
Um, and
Oh,
some
so in the smirking, like when you're smirking, you're not smirking in like a friendly way. It's more of sort of like a derisive smirk, like a huh. Look
yeah,
at
I mean
you.
I don't think I would consider a smirk to be a friendly thing necessarily. Like it very much depends on the dog. Some of them is more of a like a fun smirk,
Okay.
like a sort of like,
Hmm.
oh, look at little Timmy. Like
Little
Like
Timmy's looking a
like
little bit
thing.
threatening there, Jenna.
that was supposed to be that was supposed to be me, but
I mean, that's a good smirk. That is it.
Okay, I'm glad the hair is there now because it was looking a little place hopper adjacent
there
there.
we go. But yeah, it very much depends on the individual dog. Sometimes just there's like, that little yappy chihuahua that needs to be taken down a peg.
Okay.
But then sometimes it is more of a fun smirk. You have to very much tailor it to the particular dog and the particular situation. So
Yeah.
I have a dog myself. But
Well,
yeah.
I
Or the
guess
other day I had to wrestle half-eaten Greg's out of her mouth. So
Oh,
you're going to say half-eaten Greg.
She
Like
got
just a man.
no, like half a pasty.
Did she get confused? Did she think it was cat poo?
I mean,
No judgment there.
Yeah, you're not passing any sort of judgment on Greg's.
on Greg's.
On Greg's.
nothing like that.
I like a Greg's vegan sausage roll.
Still haven't tried the vegan sausage roll. I still need to.
They're good. They are very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I haven't tried one actually.
Guys, come on, get with it.
I know.
I haven't
need
really
to.
left the house in the last 9 months. So.
Yeah, there is that.
No, that is true. Yeah.
But the first time
To be
I
fair,
do,
they've been out for quite a lot longer than that.
yeah, that
Yeah,
is.
also true.
But I just need to up my game, up my Greg's game, and
Indeed.
just try and get back to a Greg's. Next time I leave the house, first place I'll go immediately to a Greg's.
That's worth risking your health for a Greg's sausage roll.
That makes it sound like the sausage roll is the risk.
That's true. That's not what I meant. I'm sure the Greg sausage roll, I mean, maybe it's playing the long game. Like, eventually it may clog your arteries if you eat enough of it. But,
That's
like,
true. Yeah.
Yeah, that
I
sounds
think
like
you're
the sausage
probably
roll
fine.
has agency.
Yeah.
Oh, doesn't it?
I mean,
like this picture here. So the dog looks like it's playing a harmonica, but like the wrong way round.
is that Greg's
That
sausage
was
roll?
100% my intention.
Yeah.
It was a Greg sausage roll. Now it's a harmonica.
Yeah.
That's
That is a
actually how
talented
dogs.
dog.
Yeah, that's how dogs play the harmonica. They're really good at it,
Yeah.
but they just have to play it at like
It's
a
just
weird angle
the
out the
other
side
way
of their
around.
mouth. Yeah.
Do they have it in their mouth and then just toss it up in the air and then it gets one whistle while
Yeah.
it goes like it goes in the air.
Yeah. You actually have to have like to play a song on a harmonica with dogs, you have to have like a full orchestra. And you have to train because it's just one note each.
That's it. Yes. Well timed.
Yeah. Brilliant. The last dog harmonica orchestra I saw was it was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they play at St David's Hall like at least once a year. It's always a highlight of the season for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss it this Christmas actually. Like,
Yeah,
it's a
same.
real. I look forward to it every year.
Mm-hmm.
But there we are. You just have to train your dog to play the harmonica.
I will. I'll have to. I don't own a harmonica, but I'll have to get one.
I actually own several harmonicas, but they're all squashed.
For some reason, I thought that you would own several harmonicas.
That's very true.
Duncan is that kind of person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I knew anybody who was going to, it would be you.
And if anyone were to say I have a squashed harmonica, it will probably be me as well.
And why? How do you even squash a harmonica?
Well, that's the question, isn't it, Al? I don't want to give away all of my secrets. I mean, people pay good money for
The mystery of the
quality
day.
squashed harmonicas.
I know. What's your proctologist gonna say?
He was a little bit dubious about finding it, but
I'm
it
not
was fine.
surprised.
It was fine. I just explained that was my playing style, and he was like, "Oh, okay. I see this occasionally, but
It's a good way to get a whistle.
yeah." And no one knows where it's coming from.
You could be standing in a lift.
Yeah. Start playing a little tune.
Is that the sound a harmonica makes?
in a land with the penguins, that's how it's harmonica.
Yeah, I mean, I would play it for you right now, but I've not installed it correctly today, so
Okay.
Oh,
I
such a
see.
shame.
yeah. So Abby, this week
Yes.
so you're gonna have to explain this one to me, because I'm not sure whether it was over like several days or just like one day, like a really intense session, but you stared at the moon for hours.
Of course, doesn't everybody?
Well, I mean, I like a good moon. I really do.
Everyone likes a good moon.
Everyone does love a good moon. Yeah, but like you specified that this was for like hours. What was the reason for that?
It's something I often do, at
Okay.
least. Yeah, once a month the full moon comes out. You go
Okay.
on a midnight walk, take a
Yeah.
look. Hope you turn into a werewolf. Disappointed you don't. Go home.
You're
And
just
then
there,
you
fingers
start again the
crossed.
next month.
Yeah.
This time it's gonna happen.
This time for sure.
I do the
Yeah.
same thing, hoping I'm going to turn into Kate Beckinsale. Doesn't happen.
You go out fully like leather clad, ready.
Yes.
Yeah,
With some
just like
killer boots.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're the squeaking I hear then.
That's me.
In the bushes.
Actually, technically, that could also be the penguin walking with me.
So Abby, would you say that your moon viewing experience was ruined by Al and his penguin?
It did break my concentration. It
So
was a bit distressing hearing that squeaking coming from the bushes. But I did consider perhaps it would be my prey for when I fully turned.
okay, yeah. I like the
Yeah.
idea that I never knew that you had to like really properly concentrate to be a werewolf. Is that
Yeah, it's hard work, you know?
okay?
Focusing, growing out your body hair, getting the right hunched position.
You got to get a good hunch. There's a
Good hunch, yeah.
like I've always known werewolves as hunch wolves, to be honest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gotta get that hunch down, otherwise the moon's just gonna laugh at you and not turn you.
The moon has agency in this as well.
Yeah, it's up to the
Okay.
moon whether you become a werewolf or not.
Would you say you were talking to the moon? Like
Yes.
if it's got agency enough to laugh at you. Oh, look at that little moon. That moon wouldn't.
I
turn
don't
you
talk
into-
it. I don't talk to it when it laughs at me, and I get upset.
Okay.
But my goal, though, one day is that Jenna's gonna smirk at me when I'm in full get up.
It all comes together. Yeah.
That's it.
You
I
just
mean,
want
One day.
like the werewolves require a much more specific smirk, and you do have to be more careful with them than you do with normal dogs.
Are you working up to a werewolf smirk, Jenna?
Oh yeah, I mean that's kind of why I had to practice. Like I wasn't sure if I should tell you or not, but now
Okay.
that I've heard this story, I realized that I'm within safe company, so it's okay to say.
Absolutely, it's fine.
Penguin kinks and werewolf wannabes. It's definitely
Yeah.
safe company.
I love that album actually.
Penguin Kinks and Werewolf Wannabe.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
I was gonna say, should we try and bring a bit more normality back by asking Duncan what he's done this week? Because I heard something very strange.
What did you hear, Abby?
Well, I heard that you've only just realised that you've been wearing headphones wrong this entire time.
Oh.
Yeah.
How have you gone through your life wearing the headphones like you do? Can you explain?
Well, like normally with headphones, you get like you get like the ear cup bit, and I'm only just finding this out. You get the ear cup bit, and you put it like over the ears.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I thought that you kind of had to like tuck it behind the ears, like so the foam is just kind of like padding out your ears a little bit, so like your ears then become kind of like active, like aware, you know what I mean? And then it really sort of like
Activate
emphasize.
ears.
Yeah, I would actually say that as well. Like when every time I put headphones on, I
Yeah.
always say activate ears.
Do you squidge
Because
the lobes
Duncan
at the
is
same
a
time?
cyborg.
So sorry, Al, what was that?
Do you squidge your lobes at the same time?
To be honest, I'm trying to
personal
give up
question.
lobe squidging. My doctor told me to stop squidging my lobes all the time because like my lobes were just getting red raw.
You dirty lobe squidger.
That's what they'd call me in school. And
Oh, sorry.
no, it's fine. It's fine. But it's a name that's just like really stuck with me since I was about 6 years old. And
Yeah.
it would be like, there he is. Look, there he goes, that lobe squidger.
Lobe squidger.
But you know what? I've learnt to take it as like a kind of an empowerment thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've embraced my lobes, quite literally.
But you have, yeah, exactly.
With my thumb and forefinger every day. I mean,
As a professional lobe smusher,
I am a professional. I've
yeah.
managed to monetize my lobes.
I would like to know, I read, I don't know where this knowledge comes from, maybe it was
Okay.
given to me in a dream,
Yeah.
but someone once said to me that earlobes feel like Haribo gummy eggs.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I just want to know if that is true in your experience.
I mean, they may have started like that
Yeah.
when I was about 6 or 7.
Okay.
But now they're more like I would say like a toned bicep, just like a small toned bicep on the underside.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you flex your lobes?
Can I flex my lobes? I can.
Wow.
Are you telling us you've got ripped earlobes?
You mean you've never noticed my absolutely jacked lobes?
Wow, I've not been looking close enough.
Yeah, next time you see me, which will probably be a while, so I'll have
Yeah.
even more.
Yeah, you'll have to send us a picture.
That is a horrible picture.
Look at those. Those are buff.
That is a buff lobe right
That is
there.
a buff lobe. Goodness me. Wow. Look at it. It's even going bring bring.
So yeah, I mean that's why I always assumed that headphones work that way, because I was like, why isn't everyone else, squishing their lobe? That's kind of what I thought. I was just like, I put headphones on in that way so I could squidge my lobes and activate my ears as well. And everyone else just laughed at me.
Oh.
Well, I'm pleased that we've updated each other about our weeks,
Earlobes,
and our lobes.
Yeah, it's okay.
So let's get cracking with this story then.
Okay.
So let's just keep it loose. It's the first episode. We'll keep it loose. We'll keep it relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
We'll make a protagonist.
Yeah.
We'll make a character, and then we'll try and work out, what's this character's deal? What's his story? What's he doing? Okay. So I've asked you all to prepare some delicious words. I'm really looking forward to eating these words. The mouthfeel of these words. So let's start with a general vibe for the protagonist. Okay. Mm-hmm. So Abbi, can you give me your verb?
I have nod.
Nod.
Cool.
Okay, that is a good verb. Jenna, can you give me your adjective, please?
Sexy.
Ooh.
Oh, come on. Sexy nod.
That was my nickname in uni, actually.
It's an improvement on earlobe squisher.
On lobe squisher, yeah.
It's been upgraded.
Yeah, sexy nod the lobe squisher. Um, Al,
Yes,
Al, can you give me your noun, please?
no problem. I have 2 nouns. Were we supposed to get 2 or just 1?
Just one is fine. That's
Just
fine.
1.
Yeah,
Okay.
you've got a spare.
In which case, I will go with control.
Control.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. So we've got nod, sexy, and control. Abby, where is this taking your imagination initially?
You don't want to know.
Oh God, that was very sultry
No.
there, Abby.
Control that sexy nod.
Control that nod. Control your nod, Abby.
Yeah. It's out of
Without nod
control.
control, things that get sexy.
You've got to have proper nod control. I mean,
Exactly.
it's really essential.
I know.
Abby, would you say you have nod control?
I think I'm very good nod control.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
know how
have
to control
actually.
my
Yeah,
nod.
I would say, if somebody asked me to describe you, I'd say, yeah, she's got good nod control actually. Her nods are in check. What?
I
Okay,
think so.
Jenna, you're going to have to describe what we're seeing here.
It's a remote control with a nodding head.
Yeah,
Thank
did you
you.
get that? I got that.
See,
God,
okay.
thank you. At least some people can appreciate my genius.
It was like, that looks like my control, minus the head.
See, I saw that as like the back of a computer, like a computer tower.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can kind of see that, but I don't know about your computer, but mine does not have that many buttons on it.
Well, I saw them as ports, like little
like the-
buckets.
like-
Oh, like this is a fan.
That's
like
the fan, yeah.
there's a
Yeah,
fan
yeah.
there. Okay, I get you. No, okay, yeah, I get you. But that wouldn't have made any sense with sexy nod control, would it?
Well, this is why I was confused. See, so this guy, is this a guy? What are we looking? Guy, girl,
And you've got a
non-binary?
half robot guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
A cyborg.
A cyborg, half human, half remote control.
Remote control. Yeah.
Okay.
Then it's like a universal remote control as well. So like
Ooh.
that's what makes him so sexy. He can
Oh.
turn a lot of things on.
Yeah. Oh god. It's working for me right now. I mean, it's just like I'm looking at my remote control. I'm just like,
It's not
Hey, I
doing it for
mean,
you.
no control.
Yeah.
It gives a lot of, I don't know, access to things that might be
Mhm.
sexy.
I love the idea that like a universal control, for some reason the word universal is massive. So like
Oh.
this guy is like 10 feet tall,
Oh,
Yeah.
like a really big control. Those buttons are like huge.
they are. They're gonna take a while to press.
Well, yeah, but when you press them, it feels really good.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Are you just thinking about your lobes again? Are they the same consistency, those buttons?
I mean, there is my lobes are kind of button adjacent now.
Yeah.
And it's a similar feeling. Maybe that's why I started. But I was always so into remote controls.
Yeah. Just pressing those buttons while people are trying to watch TV. Oh,
Yeah. And it was just like, just stop doing that. Switch to your lobes.
yes, you're
God's
gonna
sake.
work on your lobes instead, mate.
Yeah, work on your lobes. Okay, so
Do you even lobe, bro?
is it
You even load, bro. Yeah.
so this guy, I mean, is he nodding because he has some lobe issue? Is that what he's doing?
No, that's how he controls it. He nods and it switches channels or
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, okay.
That's cool.
But
It's
he
like
does
a
it in
sexy nod.
Yeah, in a
Oh.
really sexy way.
I love the
Like-
button nipples.
Thank you.
It kind of looks
Yeah,
like
it's
a
like-
second face. Ah!
you program what you want in his chest and then he nods to activate it.
Oh, clever.
Ah,
Okay.
Yeah.
He's like, are you sure this is what you want, Duncan? Yes. And then nod, done.
It's just sort of a sage nod, like,
Yes,
that.
not like a nodding dog or one of those things which are, they soak up the sun and they
Yeah.
move heads. They soak
Or
up
like
the
those
sun.
little plants.
Yeah.
Little plants, yeah.
That's what he does with his arms constantly. That's the only thing he can do with his arms is just flap them gently up and down. I like that. Okay, so he doesn't talk. He just nods, but you know exactly what he means with each nod.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't need words because he has a whole nod language, and it's pretty. Let's be honest, it's pretty sexy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that thing where like we haven't decided on a gender. They like nod at someone, and then it's like, you know, from like old films and stuff, people just swoon.
Yeah.
Very suave. Yeah.
Regardless of what this character is kind of, implying or indicating at all, like it's just immediate swoon from the nod.
Yeah.
It may just be like, can I have a coffee? But no, they're gone. They're down.
Gone. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. I mean, guys, I'm not gonna lie. I'm on the floor at the moment.
Your penguin is having to pick you up.
This is like a normal sized person.
Yeah. Oof.
Whoa.
That is pretty amazing. You're not going to lose him down the side of the sofa, are you?
I feel like people need to go on like a pilgrimage to find this cyborg.
Oh, so yeah, maybe this is the ultimate goal, is to find this universal remote kind of guy.
It's like if you've lost your remote, if there's no like, you've got that weird switch that you don't know what it does. You can't figure out how you managed to turn subtitles on your TV and now you can't get them off. Like you have to find this guy who will fix all of your problems for you.
Right, I like that. Okay, we could actually switch this round then. We started kind of thinking about the protagonist, but maybe this could be the main objective. This is what the protagonist is looking for.
Okay.
Like this is the end of the story. The end goal is
to find
the universal remote.
Oh,
it's like a god.
Yeah, maybe what the protagonist has to do is they have to go down the side of the sofa, and that's how they enter the world where the remote
oh my
control
gosh, yes.
Oh, I love it. The sofa realm.
Yeah, this is it, that's it.
Yeah. Ah, that is amazing. That's fantastic.
And you'll come across like coin land because there's always coins down the side of your sofa.
Coin town. And then like Lintville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like moldy piece of chocolate town, you know.
It's more of a kind of a backwater place. You don't stay long on moldy chocolate.
I think it'd be like the unknown stain. Never venture there.
Yeah, that's like a tourist hotspot. It's unknown stain.
You never know what shape it's going to be.
Yeah,
it's forever changing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And oh look, there's my Hamsterville. You know,
right. Because there's always a hamster down there. There's always a hamster down the sofa. We actually lost a hamster down the sofa once, and me and my dad had to completely upturn the sofa and cut the bottom of it off.
I was going to say, was this my hamster? Because you looked after my hamsters.
No. This is my sister's hamster.
Yeah, remember that time when you didn't get your hamster back? Wow. It's time to go on an adventure.
Duncan's sofa.
Last time you came round and you were like, what is that down the sofa? It's like, it's nothing. It's just Coin Town. It's fine.
Don't know how to do lint, so this is closest as I can get.
It is the lint.
So happy though.
I know. Lint looks like a mix between Mr. Greedy and Mr. Was it Spaghetti or Squiggles or something? You know, it's Mr. Messy. It's cool. I like it. It's cute. Okay,
so we've got our main objective then, which is to find the universal remote. So
and we have our setting.
And we have our setting as well. Maybe we could get to the protagonist by kind of inverting the universal remote. You know, our protagonist is kind of the opposite of the universal remote. Like no control, absolutely no control over anything.
Yeah.
Limbs just flailing everywhere wildly.
A bit like you.
Yeah, very much like me, actually. Yeah.
I've seen Duncan do the bread maker, you know.
Yeah. We should specify that is a dance. I'm not doing anything else to the bread maker.
Oh,
I mean,
When you say I'm doing the bread maker, that's a
Yeah.
dance,
yeah,
nothing more. And that's my
exactly.
story.
It's not a unique type of sourdough.
oh God.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it anyway. You know, we can't. This is the first episode. We can't have the protagonist be me.
Why not? Why not? What's
And
wrong with that?
I also like as soon as I suggested we need somebody who has absolutely no control, the suggestion was you.
Yeah,
there's Duncan,
exactly.
no control
Our
over
esteemed
anything.
leader.
A dear leader who has no control. Okay,
Really
I
buff
drew it.
lobes.
Yeah.
Yes, you've only got control over your lobes.
Buffalo Stockwell.
Mhm.
No.
Maybe that's
Right.
the way it is. You can twitch your ears, but you can't nod your head.
This is
That sounds like a proverb.
And the only way
That's
that
what-
you can move forward is you have to like move your lobes slightly because their weight directs you the way you need to go.
So keep
It's like
my
slightly
legs,
like flapping wings.
yeah, keep my
Yes.
legs perfectly still and just sort of perambulate with my lobes.
Have you like that game Octopus Dad? Have you ever played that?
Yeah, I know that one. Yeah. That's what it's like. I do have like my lobes are prehensile now, so I can grip things with them.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Anyone
amazing.
who's listening who is absolutely grossed out by ears is just gonna really hate this episode. Okay, I tell you what. This protagonist who is
Duncan.
based on me.
Yeah. Who we'll call
Yeah. I mean,
Duncan.
Duncan, yeah.
Duncan Dockwell.
Duncan Dockwell.
There you go.
okay, yeah. Let's switch that though. First name Dockwell. Dockwell Uncan. I like the idea that Dockwell.
I'd like you to know that this picture of you is loosely based on your WhatsApp profile picture.
You got the lobes in there really well. I really like the lobes in there.
Thank you.
So I like the idea that like if the goal is the universal remote and that is like the opposite of Dockwell. Dockwell, like the universal remote is like 10 foot tall. So maybe Dockwell could be like a couple of inches tall. He's like a borrower.
Okay.
And that's how he can get down the side of the sofa so easy, you know?
Okay, yeah.
So Dockwell, and that's why he has no control, because he's so tiny. You know?
But
He can't even turn the TV on because he can't get to the on button. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But how come he's got such a big sofa? Because he's so tiny.
Because I mean, unfortunately, society these days is big person centric.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you just can't get furniture.
You can't get a break. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't get furniture for borrowers. It's such a
No.
borrowist society.
Exactly. And doll's house furniture is so expensive.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
I mean,
you
you're
know.
not paying 20 quid for a tiny sofa.
Exactly. And when he goes into kind of like a sofa warehouse, you know, he doesn't want people to expect that he just wants a tiny sofa. What if he wants a big sofa?
Yeah, you don't want to preempt that.
Exactly. That's just
Yeah.
rude.
And also, I mean, when you're 3 inches tall, a sofa is pretty much house. That's a house size.
Well, I mean, it's your world, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
So okay, Dockwell.
Look at Diddy Dockwell.
Diddy Dockwell.
What if you can hire these tiny people to live in your sofa to find things that you lose?
Oh, I love that.
That is cool.
I
Yeah.
love that idea. Yeah.
Like
so
your
you
hamster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Dockwell
you
actually
know,
rides a hamster.
Oh my God. Yes, he
Perfect.
does.
Yeah.
Like going into battle. I don't know
Yeah.
why there's a battle, but I'd love to see him riding.
yeah, right.
They're
a
not
hamster.
proper hamsters.
Saddle up a hamster.
Hi-ho
and just
hamster.
charge it.
Maybe he's failed in his mission and he's going to be homeless, but he has to find the universal remote to help him keep his job.
Yes. Because he hasn't
Okay.
been able to find anything.
Yeah.
down the sofa.
Yeah.
So they're gonna.
Because he can't control his limbs.
That's
Yeah.
it. That they're gonna
Bit
let him go.
rubbish.
Yeah. So I think like the next thing that I was going to ask was like a psychological need. You know, the thing that is stopping Dockwell from really pursuing and completing this adventure. This hamster is wonderful, Jenna.
I love it. Look at him.
I'm sorry, I can't draw hamsters.
Oh, it's wonderful.
I have owned
Yeah.
several of them. I can't.
And they did all look like that, to be fair. So
Well, I mean, at least one of them kind of looked like that, yeah.
okay,
I've started drawing half of you now, and I don't know how to continue.
it's not me, it's Dockwell.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's Duncan
It's
Stockwell.
Dockwell, guys.
Duncan Dockwell.
Who's got a tail, I think.
He does, doesn't
That's
he?
the other butt cheek.
Is that the harmonica?
Yeah.
That's just where he keeps it.
Because
You know.
every time he enters the room, he goes. "Doo-doo-doo-doo."
That's how you
Once
summon
again,
hamsters.
so closely based on Duncan's life.
Every time I play a harmonica, dozens of hamsters just flock to me. But
Maybe
only
that's
when
how he calls his hamster that he rides.
Oh
Yeah.
yes,
it's good though, because it allows me to keep both hands free as well.
that's
You do need two hands to ride a hamster.
a
yeah.
hand-free harmonica.
Yeah. And like those little harmonica stands that like Bob Dylan wears didn't work for me.
No.
Or it didn't work for Dockwell because they're just too big.
Yeah.
See, now
exactly.
you're getting it confused as well. It's too close to the truth, Duncan.
Yes,
Yeah.
you
Having
know who
some-
this is.
Identity crisis with this 3-inch harmonica playing borrower friend. Okay, so what is Dockwell's psychological need? You know, what is the thing that's, you know, really stopping him from pursuing this adventure you know, properly but you know, in sort of the end of the second act of the story, where he's a bit of an action sequence, stuff has failed a little bit, and he's like, oh, the one thing that I need to overcome is, and then you know, as soon as
My
he
fear
realizes
of
that
lint.
fear of lint fear. Well, what I was going to say is
Maybe
we
he
could
gets
use
stuck in the unknown state and he's got to control his limbs that he haven't been able to control until now to get out.
Yes.
Beautiful.
That's it.
So
Yeah.
oh, so the psychological need is literally just limbs, like
Yeah,
limb
limbs.
control.
That's it. Yes.
Because
Okay,
he wants to be good at his job and it's stopping him from being good at his job.
Oh, and that answers the next point, which is moral need. Like the moral need is sorry, are those coins dancing for hamster poo?
No, they're chasing.
Yeah.
They're chasing
That-
them out of their realm. But
Okay.
then the hamster's scared, so he's doing a poo.
Okay.
But it's also a trip hazard.
Yes, that
These
is true.
coins are really yeah, they're very up on their sort of like occupational safety.
Yeah. Maybe they're kind of like grenades, kind of like, but so they explode.
Like
But only
tiny
when
poo
coins touch them.
grenades.
Yeah,
Right.
poo grenades. Yeah.
We've all been there. So the next thing that I was going to say was moral need, and the moral need is kind of like if the psychological need is why does this character, what do they need to resolve in themselves? The moral need is, who do they need to resolve it for? You know, somebody else needs to be relying on them. So does Dockwell, does he have any dependents? Maybe his hamster, maybe his best friend, his hamster.
Jeffrey.
Sorry,
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey the hamster. Okay,
Jeffrey the hamster,
perfect.
yeah.
I guess, I mean, the psychological need could just be like limb flailing, but the moral need could also be like limb flailing hurts Jeffrey. It hurts everyone around Dockwell. Like he's just constantly wildly dancing.
That's it.
And he needs to learn to stop dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Just for Jeffrey's benefit, basically.
Yeah, because serving up Jeffrey's food makes things very messy.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really serve food while you're dancing. I would know.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Um,
Oh, look at the front version of Jeffrey. So cute. He's just like, I don't know why I'm here. why am I in this story? Help me, please.
He looks like a kind of an expression of,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks
Abbi.
You look deep into his eyes, and there's just like a tiny tear.
Oh. Oh.
Because Dockwell just keeps dancing.
That's
Just
it.
won't stop dancing.
Dancing Dockwell.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Still bad.
It's fine. Just go with it. Just go with it. You put a little speech bubble that just says, "Please stop dancing."
Yeah, because having that while someone's riding on your back isn't going to be fun, is it? I mean,
No.
you're just like, will you sit up, please? Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Like a child. Will you sit up?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. We're like,
You speak hamster as well as penguin.
yeah. I'm a real Doc
You have so
Doolittle.
many talents.
None I can put on my CV.
I mean, you could if you really want, if you felt dedicated enough.
Depends on what sort of job you're going for, Al.
Well, this is very true.
Okay, so let's try and wrangle this. Let's wrangle it like Dockwell wrangles a hamster into some semblance of a story. Okay, so we have Abbi had to go for technical reasons, unfortunately. So it's just the three of us trying to rehash out this recap of of Dockwell's vast saga. So, ordinary world. We've established that that Dockwell lives in the sofa house.
Yes.
About
Fluffcush 1.
Fluffcush 1.
To be specific.
To be
I mean.
specific about the address, he lives at Fluffcush 1, which is would you say that's a place that he likes, dislikes? What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think it's a good one. He doesn't have very many neighbors though.
No.
Okay. There's Fluffcush 1 and then there's Roughcush 1, and Roughcush is unfortunately it was one which was knitted by like the original owner's grandma years ago, and it's a little bit tatty now. So
right.
And no one
not very nice to live in.
No, exactly. So no one actually lives there right now, so he's kind of on his own.
Okay. Oh, that's sad. Poor Dockwell.
I know.
So
Dockwell.
So call to adventure. I suppose in the ordinary world, we'd have to introduce Dockwell as a member, a fledgling member, or like sort of an ostracized member of this kind of borrower retrieval squad.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess introduce his little hamster friend as well.
Oh, Jeffers.
Old Jeff is the hamster, yeah. Call to adventure. Like, what would be the instigating situation? Like, what would make Dockwell realize he needs to go and find the universal remote? I mean, his limbs are already wildly uncontrollable.
Mm-hmm.
He just loves to dance. He just loves it.
He does.
But surely there would be, I guess like a good instigating action is that he dances so much that he gets permanently banned from the borrower retrieval squad.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's his redemption arc.
It is.
Yeah. He realizes he really needs to. I love this picture.
He's dancing.
He is.
He really needs to go and find the universal remote to regain some control over his life.
Because maybe what could happen is that he knows he's not great at what he does, so he finds it difficult to get things. That's why he's been ostracized a little bit by the community. And then there's one day when Jeffrey just disappears down the sofa as well, And then he suddenly
Ooh.
realizes that he can't do anything about it. And this is his friend. This is his only friend.
Okay.
So it could be linked in with that, I suppose, as well.
Oh, you see, I like the idea that that a retrieval is a retrieval mission as well. He has to go and
Yeah,
find
exactly.
Jeffrey and also get the universal remote.
Of course.
Yes, because
Yeah.
together, they will be able to find out, and then he can be welcomed back into society.
Okay, cool. So, I mean, I guess that's the refusal of the call would probably be Dockwell just kind of moping for a bit, just being like, well, I can't do anything without Jeffrey. You know, I'm just dancing and I have no hamster to ride. I'm sorry, the phrase "I'm just dancing and I have no hamster to ride." Let that one sit with you for a while.
That's like some amazing
Standard.
1980s Britpop song. I'm just dancing and I got no hamster to ride.
Okay, I'm just gonna make a note of that.
There's your musical sting for earlier.
Yeah.
It's
Refusal of the call.
that's his redemption song halfway through Act 2.
This is a musical now.
Of course.
Oh no. I've got to write all the songs before the end of this session.
I don't think we're going to manage to do that in like
No,
15
no.
minutes.
Okay, so I'm just noting that down. Mentor. I reckon a kindly older borrower is like, you need to go and find the universal remote.
Yes,
Yeah.
because he will help you with your limbs.
Maybe this kindly. Could it be a penguin?
Old man penguin.
Old man penguin. Jenna, can you chuck a beak on that? Chuck a beak.
I was gonna like.
Nothing else needs to change. Perfect.
There you go.
Perfect.
I've never had the note before the feedback for my work, which is just, Jenna, can you just chuck a beak on that?
You heard it here first.
Yeah, it's I'm straight in there with the incisive crits. There you go.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's always good to get feedback.
Old man mentor, old man penguin.
Old man mental penguin.
Old man mentor penguin. And then that leads dear little Dockwell, dear little dancing Dockwell,
Diddy dancing Dockwell.
Diddy dancing Dockwell, to cross the first threshold, which is to dive headlong down into the sofa realm.
Get out.
Okay, well, the mentor figure doesn't have to be kindly. It just needs to be somebody that like gives the character a kick up the ass.
He's like the sort of, he is kindly, but he realizes that this has to be a kind of tough love situation.
Okay.
Otherwise he'll never leave.
Yeah, like he really needs that kick up the butt, and Mr. Old Man Penguin his legs are too stubby for the actual leg butt kicking.
That's it. Well, as long as it's not too hard a kick, because that harmonica is not coming out.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, you don't want to stop being able to play the harmonica.
Be constantly playing it with each step.
Yeah. I mean, it's a constant frustration of mine some days. So that's the first threshold. The special world, I'm guessing. The special There it is.
Brilliant.
Is Dockwell is exploring the sofa realm. You know, he's going around Cointown.
Yeah.
He's in Cointown.
Yes, he's in Cointown. Cointown's the first place.
First place, Cointown. And no one there has seen Hamster.
Yeah.
So he moves on to Lintville, I would have thought. And maybe Lintville could be that's the scene of this first sort of big set piece action sequence of the whole story. You know, Lintville is that's where the approach to the inmost cave and then the ordeal happens. You know, and Dockwell in this section is he's really he's having to he's really knocking up against the fact that he can't stop dancing. He just can't control the dancing. And maybe this is where, how do you think that would affect the lint?
Well, lint's quite small and very light. So either if he's dancing, it could be jigging them up and down too much. So they like mini earthquakes each time. Or if he's flailing his limbs, he's kind of smacking them around.
They're quite sort of like, exactly like that. He's going over to people. He's saying, have you seen my hamster? Do you know where my hamster is? He's playing them little tunes, but all the while just dancing, just
exactly
full dancing.
So they're not paying any attention to him because
no.
they're
I'm
like,
thinking,
stop bouncing us.
he's dancing, but he's just wafting the lint away.
That's it, yeah.
And they're then like, no. There you go, that guy there.
Yeah.
Wafted away by a harmonica playing dancer. So that could be, that's where Dockwell really hits a trough. He's really, not literally, but figurative kind of, it's a low point, right? He's really sad, but maybe
probably literally a low point in the sofa as well there.
Good point.
Yes.
He's fallen in amongst the springs. And he's all tangled up in the springs because he flailed so much.
The action sequence is trying to escape the springs. These are evil springs.
It's an evil, they've wrapped him up tightly, like tight thorns.
Yeah, they don't like these springs. They don't like being jiggled.
No.
Counter to what you would expect of a spring, but springs actually don't like being sort of bounced around.
No, exactly, because some of them lose their shape and they don't like that.
Exactly, yeah. So these springs, he's made it to what is this, Springtown?
Yes.
Yeah.
Spring Waters.
Spring Waters. Made it from the approach phase is the lint. He's sort of like flailing around, asking the lint, and the lint is all flying away. And then he stumbles down into spring water, and that's where these grumpy springs are, and they trap him, and he's trying to get away, but the dancing just isn't helping. It's just it's getting him more and more. He's like, have you seen my hamster? I'm trying to find the universal remote. I just need control. And maybe could this be where Dockwell is saved by the heroic intervention by Jeffrey? This is where Jeffrey comes back.
Yes. Do you know what? I had the exact same thing. I was picturing Jeffrey though.
I thought you meant in your life.
Huh?
I thought you meant in your life. I was stuck in a spring and a hamster came out of nowhere.
That's where I am right now. My sofa is, I don't have any springs in my sofa. It's a sofa bed. I'm okay, I'm safe. Yeah, but I picture him coming in because, but he's wearing like a little cape, like an Assassin's Creed hamster, and he's coming out of the shadows and he comes to rescue him.
Could it be in this story world? Could hamsters be the natural predators of springs?
Yeah. Oh yes. Good point. Yeah.
And that could be.
What do you mean, just in this world?
Oh, sorry. Is that? I didn't know that was a thing. Is that common knowledge? I've never had a hamster myself. But that could be foreshadowed in the ordinary world, where like Jeffrey is then like gnawing away on some springs.
That's true. Yes.
Yeah. It's a little bit problematic if the springs are sentient. It's not quite. Maybe the springs aren't sentient. The springs are actually just like predators. Like the coins, they're happy little coin people. Happy little lint people. Springs, more like sort of like an animal, like a predatory animal.
Yeah, like a Venus flytrap or something.
Yeah. There you go.
So their aim is just to trap
Yeah.
things, and that's why you can never get them back out again.
And then slowly absorb them.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
Assimilate.
it.
So Dockwell is steadily getting
Like the
assimilated.
Borg.
Yeah.
Like the Borg, yeah.
Dockwell is
But the Borg aren't plants.
or springs.
Well, yeah.
Dockwell is getting assimilated.
Ooh.
And he's just about to be assimilated. His dancing is getting him even more stuck.
Yeah,
And then Jeffrey rushes in
That's it.
heroically,
yeah.
eats several springs.
Starts
all at
gnawing
once.
away at them, yes.
Yeah, like one full spring in a mouthful.
Uh-huh.
It's absolutely astounding work. And then there you go.
Yay.
This seems like a sort of a panel split. There you go.
Da, da, da.
And then
Jeffrey.
the next scene would be like the campfire scene. This is the scene sort of after the big action sequence where
Yes.
the characters sit down and they go, oh,
And they take stock
was-
of the situation.
exactly. It was this after all. I had to resolve this all along.
Yes.
And this is where Dockwell realizes the dancing, it's just not working.
Yeah, exactly,
just-
because it gets him into trouble.
It does get him into trouble. And this is where maybe he realizes that this is where, maybe the story up to this point was to get Jeffrey back, but he realizes that actually he really needs to go deeper into the sofa realm and find the universal remote.
Yes.
Yeah.
To help him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this could have always been a possibility. There were coins in Coinville handing out pamphlets for the universal remote, and believe in the power of the universal remote.
Yes.
And Dockwell
Like a
was
cult.
I suppose it's a bit cult-like, yeah. But yeah. Can I have you got a moment to talk about the universal remote? And Dockwell's like, no, I need to find my hamster as he jives on past. So that's he mounts up on Jeffrey, and he rides out further into the sofa realm, further through the sofa, and this is the road onward phase, and he really carries on, and maybe he could go back to Lintville, and he's perfectly still, or maybe not perfectly still just yet.
He's wiggling a little bit,
twitching a little bit, twitching rhythmically, but he's holding it together, and finally he's able to kind of say to the lint, well, I suppose before he was asking the lint for where Jeffrey was, but maybe the lint could be maybe the lint are the acolytes of the universal remote, and so this is now maybe here we go
oh, the cogs are turning.
yeah. So Dockwell knew that he needed to ask the universal remote to help find Jeffrey, and that's why he went to Lintville, because they're the acolytes. So he's talking to the lint, and he's sort of saying, oh, have you seen my hamster? Have you seen my hamster? But also, have you seen the universal remote? And then Jeffrey comes back to save him in Springwater, and so kind of the main objective of the story is complete, but Dockwell realizes he needs to go further. He needs to resolve this psychological need. He doesn't want to hurt Jeffrey anymore with his overly ambitious dancing.
Yes. So
he thinks, universal remote. Let's go back. Let's work with the lint. I know that I need to control my limbs.
Yes.
He goes back to the lint and he says, can you tell me where the universal remote is? And the lint says, Al, how do you think a piece of lint would talk? Can you describe the voice?
I mean, exactly how you think they would, Duncan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, same as you, man.
I'm thinking kind of like a breathiness, like sort of thing.
Oh God.
It's kind of creepy, I suppose.
I was mostly thinking squeaky, maybe.
I was
That
thinking
All right.
squeaky, but squeaky
Okay.
and scratchy as well.
Like my lobes, actually.
That's like Donald Duck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come back to me on that one.
Okay.
I have to prep my voice for that.
Let's move on. I love this lint man.
man.
Thank you.
So that's the road onwards. Then they say, yes, over yonder,
Yes.
over yonder. And maybe could this be more springs? More like he has to, that's the final, he has to get through spring water without dancing.
He has to think like a spring.
Yeah.
And move in time with them.
Yes. Oh, I like that. Yeah. Instead of like completely wild.
Yes.
It's rhythmic dancing. Like
that's
actual,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then it's he discovers that he can control himself and yet not lose that part of him, which makes him unique.
Yes. There you go. Oh, perfect. So he's there in spring water. He's dancing with them. It's all a wonderful kind of meeting of minds with the springs. It's like he's communing with nature.
Yes.
And maybe there could be one particular spring who in the ordeal was like the dominant spring, the head spring, alpha spring, if you will.
Yes.
In the resurrection phase, in this final big action sequence, he has to dance. Dockwell has to dance with the alpha spring.
Cool. Could this be our second musical number?
I think this could be the biggest one. This is the one that enters the charts.
I'm just picturing loads of springs like dancing in sequence and
yeah,
and
dance with the alpha spring. Like that sort of thing.
It's like High School Musical for springs.
Yeah. And he earns their trust and he gets through spring water.
Yeah.
And the final sequence, scene is Dockwell finding the universal remote. It's just he gets through spring water, through this big forest of thorn-like springs, and the universal remote, which is somehow 10 feet tall and within the space of a normal size sofa, which I hadn't thought about the logistics of that.
That's okay. Spatial awareness is different in the sofa realm.
Okay. It doesn't work.
It's like a TARDIS.
Yeah.
It's bigger on the inside.
But then I feel like the universal remote would need to say something prophetic and really, really impactful, like the control was in you all along.
Oh yes, exactly. You didn't need me. Yeah,
there you go.
Because you are your own universal remote. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, there you go. That's the message. That's the message of the whole story.
That's it.
Every story needs a message, and this one's is that the control. You are your own control. You are your own universal remote.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever you need, you can do it.
Yeah, and then it's just like the last sequence, the last phase of a story is kind of like the return phase. And that's kind of where you demonstrate that the characters learned their lesson. They've come through whatever bad patch they were doing. So maybe the last scene could just be back behind Fluffy Cush 1.
Yeah, Fluff Cush 1, yeah.
Fluff Cush 1. Dockwell and Jeffrey just having a great time, just dancing. They're in sync with one another.
But I would say that Dockwell also has just learned, so he can collect the things down the side of the sofa now because he has that sense of control. But I think it's important for us to probably finish off the last bit with him and Jeffrey just going wild, because we know that he has got control, but he can still let loose.
I tell you what, story ends, right? Yeah. This is the last sequence. Jeffrey and Dockwell dancing away, having a great time. Then there's a knock at the door.
There's a knock at the door.
Knock at the door.
Equal potential.
And then, sequel baiting, but
yes,
Dockwell immediately stops. He has that control now.
Yeah.
And it's an officer from the Borrower Retrieval Service. And he says, I've got a mission for you.
Yeah.
Roll credits. Roll credits.
Roll credits. Yeah, exactly. Ah, that's amazing.
There you go. And that's the story.
That is a
I
good
mean,
story.
what could the name be for? I feel like just because it's the most prominent note that I have in front of me here,
Yeah.
I feel like the name of this story needs to be Dancing for Hamster.
It's like what, like Dancing with Wolves?
Yeah.
Dancing with us.
Yeah, I mean it is a little bit like Oscar bait
I know.
title, really.
I kind of feel like we should just really throw a curveball and just call it Penguin Kinks and Werewolf Wannabes.
That could be the band that features.
Yeah.
That could be. Oh, Dockwell could be forever talking about Penguin Kinks and Werewolf Wannabes.
Yes, that's
And the Dog Harmonica Orchestra as well.
yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, that is the story. Thank you very much, guys, for
No problem.
diving into the sofa realm with me.
That's okay. Yeah,
I want to say one
Always
last
a
time.
pleasure.
I
I
know.
want to say one last time. I'm not the main character of this story. Dockwell,
You are.
Yeah, you are.
no, any likeness to persons living or dead is just purely coincidental.
Duncan, you know as well as we do that by about 8 o'clock this evening, you are going to send a picture to Jenna, Abbi, and myself, and it's going to be of you down the sofa. You
In a
know,
little
you're
sofa
gonna
fort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's it. You
dancing
know,
away.
with your
Dancing
cat
away.
sat on top of you. You know, we just know that's going to happen.
You're gonna get a hamster.
Yeah,
That's
You
it.
know.
I'm gonna probably be going down the sofa to get the hamster. So
Yes.
Probably. I mean, there you go. There you go.
well, thank you again, and
Thank
thank you to everyone who listened. And
Yeah,
I hope
thank
you
you very
enjoyed
much.
this experimental first episode of Anyways Writing.
Yeah.
And if you want to get in touch, let us know in the comments. Let us know any thoughts, any suggestions. It'd be great to know how we can improve this. I'm Duncan, and you can find me on Twitter at Anyways Writing. And Jenna, where can people find you?
You can find me on most of the social media at Skybear UK.
Ah, cool.
And Al?
Yeah, you can hunt me down and
Hunt you down
Like a hamster.
like a
Like a hamster
vicious
or a
alpha
penguin.
spring.
you can find me on Instagram under Night Saber Alley. Da, da, da.
Thanks again, guys, and
Cheers.
we'll see you next time.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.